Hello, fellow gardeners, and welcome back to Soil Secret Studio. Have you ever stood in your garden, staring at lackluster carrots with wilting leaves or twisted roots, desperately wishing they could just tell you what's wrong? Here's the truth that will transform how you garden. They already are telling you every single day. Your plants are speaking a language written in the color of their leaves, the shape of their roots, and the pace of their growth. Today, we're learning to become fluent in this silent conversation so you can diagnose problems instantly and respond with exactly what your garden needs. No expensive soil tests or lab equipment required. Your garden is constantly communicating with you through an intricate system of visual signals. Every yellowing leaf, every stunted stem, every misshapen root is a message about what's happening in the hidden world beneath the soil surface. Learning to read these signals transforms you from someone who simply follows generic fertilizer schedules into a true plant whisperer who responds to the actual real-time needs of your crops. This skill isn't reserved for botanists or agricultural scientists. It's accessible to anyone willing to slow down and observe carefully. The best part? Once you understand the basic vocabulary of plant distress signals, you'll be able to diagnose issues across your entire garden, from carrots to tomatoes to leafy greens. Carrots are particularly eloquent communicators, and their foliage provides the earliest warning system for soil imbalances. When you notice pale green or yellowing lower leaves, while the upper growth remains darker, your carrots are signaling a nitrogen shortage. Nitrogen is the engine of leafy growth, and when supplies run low, plants cannibalize their older leaves to fuel new development. This doesn't mean your soil is inherently poor. It might simply mean that microbial activity has temporarily slowed due to cold temperatures, or that rapid plant growth has temporarily outpaced available nitrogen. The solution is straightforward. Add nitrogen-rich organic matter, like well-aged compost, apply compost tea, or incorporate blood meal into the top few inches of soil around the plants. Now, if you observe deep purple or reddish tinting on the leaves and stems, especially on older growth, your carrots are speaking a different language entirely. This is the telltale sign of phosphorus deficiency, which commonly occurs in cold, waterlogged soil where phosphorus becomes chemically locked and unavailable to plant roots. Phosphorus is essential for root development and energy transfer within the plant, so when it's missing, carrots struggle to establish strong root systems. Sometimes this issue resolves naturally as soil warms up in late spring, but you can accelerate recovery by applying bone meal or rock phosphate, which release phosphorus slowly and steadily. When new leaves show yellowing between the veins while the veins themselves remain green, a condition called intervenal chlorosis, your carrots are pointing to micronutrient deficiencies, typically iron or magnesium. This almost always indicates a pH problem rather than an actual absence of these minerals in the soil. In alkaline conditions, that's pH above 7.5, iron and magnesium become chemically bound to soil particles and, well, unavailable for plant uptake. Your carrots are essentially asking you to check and adjust your soil pH. For most vegetables, including carrots, the ideal range is between 6 and 7. If your soil is too alkaline, you can gradually lower pH by incorporating sulfur or acidic organic materials like pine needles. Conversely, if rare acidic conditions are locking up nutrients, a light application of lime will help. Stunted growth with disproportionately bushy tops tells yet another story. When carrot foliage looks healthy, but the roots remain small and underdeveloped, you're likely dealing with compacted soil. Carrots need loose, friable soil that allows their taproots to push downward effortlessly. When they encounter hard layers or dense clay, they simply stop growing downward and divert energy to leaf production instead. This is your carrots begging for better soil structure. The immediate solution for next season is to prepare beds by loosening soil to at least 12 inches deep, incorporating generous amounts of compost and aged organic matter to improve tilth. For heavy clay soils, adding coarse sand along with organic matter creates the light, airy texture carrots crave. Forked, split, or twisted roots deliver a similar message about obstacles in the soil path. When a carrot encounters a rock, a clump of undecomposed manure, or a hard soil layer, it responds by splitting around the obstacle, creating those characteristic forked roots. While these are still perfectly edible, they indicate that your soil preparation could be more thorough. The solution is to screen compost before application, remove rocks and debris, and ensure your planting bed is uniformly loose and obstacle-free. The diagnostic skills you develop with carrots, well, they really do translate seamlessly to every plant in your garden. That same nitrogen deficiency causing pale carrot leaves will, show up as yellowing lower leaves on tomatoes, peppers, and even lettuce. Phosphorus shortage appears as purplish stems in tomato seedlings, just as it does in carrot foliage. Understanding that these symptoms actually point to specific underlying causes rather than just generic plant weakness empowers you to address the root problem, not just treat the symptoms. When you learn to read one plant fluently, honestly, you've learned to read them all, because they share the same fundamental nutritional requirements and express deficiencies through remarkably similar visual cues. The real power of understanding plant language, I think, lies in the immediate action you can take. When you spot nitrogen deficiency, don't wait. Just go ahead and apply a side dressing of compost or water with actively aerated compost tea. These solutions, they introduce both readily available nitrogen and the beneficial microorganisms that keep making nitrogen accessible over time. For phosphorus issues in cold soil, cover your beds with dark mulch or row covers to help speed up warming. And, consider applying bone meal, which releases phosphorus gradually as soil microbes break it down. When pH problems are locking up micronutrients, the first step is to take a soil sample and test it using an inexpensive home testing kit. If your soil is too alkaline, incorporate elemental sulfur, which soil bacteria convert into sulfuric acid, gradually lowering pH. If it's too acidic, though that's pretty rare in most regions, apply agricultural lime. These adjustments, they do take time, so patience is essential, but honestly, the results can be transformative. For compaction issues, the solution is mechanical rather than chemical. Use a broad fork to deeply aerate your beds without inverting soil layers, so you preserve the beneficial microbial communities that live at different depths. Work in generous amounts of compost every year to maintain soil structure. Becoming fluent in plant language doesn't happen overnight, but every day you spend observing your garden brings you a bit more understanding. Walk through your beds regularly, not just to water or weed, but to truly see what your plants are telling you. Notice subtle color changes before they become dramatic. Feel the soil texture and watch how quickly new growth emerges. This kind of consistent attention transforms gardening from just a series of scheduled tasks into an ongoing dialogue between you and the living ecosystem you're stewarding. Your plants are extraordinary teachers, and every signal they send is an opportunity to learn something new about the complex, beautiful world beneath your feet. Start listening today, and you'll be amazed at how much your garden has been trying to tell you all along.